Hello, my name is Philippe Conil, Solutions Consultant with SDL. Today we're going to look at the integration of Tridion sites and Salesforce CRM as an example of the Tridion integration framework capabilities. The goal is to understand how the Tridion Content Hub or Agile CMS can integrate with other systems to enrich the customer's experiences. And one way to do this is to generally personalize the experiences based on your audiences, their interest and what they want to achieve on the site, to make their journey more efficient so that they get to achieve their tasks faster on your website or within your mobile experience and other channels as well. To illustrate this, we'll look here at a quick customer journey that we've set up using Salesforce CRM. We also have a connector for Marketo, which can be used, and you could connect also any other CRM system that you are using in your enterprise or that your customers are using. Using the integration framework, you can actually create the same type of experience we're going to see here. So first of all, I'm an anonymous visitor here looking at a demonstration website, in this case called Acadian Solar, a manufacturer of solar panels. And we're going to browse the website here, learn about the products, and then potentially sign up or convert by giving some information about ourselves to the website through different conversion events like downloading an ebook, looking at a video, signing up for an event, etc. So whatever the case is, could be a purchase as well. We want to make the journey easier, to ease the process, but also gather information about the visitor so that we can continue their journey when they come back to the site, target them with relevant information. So here the user is going to go into this section of the site for residential solar panels in this case, and they're going to learn about the panels and then go into the more generic products page here. And in the end, the user will sign up here to download more information and request information from this particular brand. So this form can be created in Salesforce or Marketo, for example, and then reused in Tridion, or we can actually configure the forms in Tridion itself, but then save the data in Salesforce, which we're going to effectively see how it works here. So I just signed up to get more information about the Acadian brand, and we're going to send an email to the subscriber here with more information in this case. So that's the conversion event. But maybe we want to help the customer or the prospect here continue their journey to become a customer. So the way we do this is actually going to Salesforce. So let's look behind the scenes here real quick what happened in Salesforce. So what happened is that we created a new contact here, field demo, and we've been tracking the activity or Salesforce through cookies, and visitor behavior has been tracked. So we can see here different visitor tracking data points. For example, the different pages that the visitor has been viewing. And based on that information, we can then trigger segmentation. So we have some segmentation rules set up in Salesforce itself. So here, because I've been in the residential section of the website, I'm now part of the residential segment. The way this works is that through Salesforce Process Builder, you can set up some rules so that the users are classified into being part of a certain segment of your audience. So there are many ways to do this, but we just use for this demonstration the Process Builder here to calculate that segment. We identify when a visitor, based on the tracking behavior, is interested in commercial solar panels or residential solar panels, and we're going to set a field in the contact itself, which is the segmentation field we've seen before, with the right value. And that's why we've been classified with the right segment. So what can you do with this information? Well, we can actually use this to further personalize the experience of the user when they will come back to the site. So let's say in the email, we can already target them with some content and make them come back to the site, right, to continue their journey. So when they will come back, we can then target them with more relevant content. So here, if I come back to the homepage, could be the same day, could be a few days later, we have a personalized banner on the residential solar panels topic because that person was part of the residential segment. We're helping the visitor to convert faster and leave more information about themselves so that we can follow up with a phone call or enrich their profile in Salesforce itself. So how is this set up in Tridion sites? Let's look at some of the details there. So first of all, we had a lead generation form on this particular page over here, which we can configure in Tridion. So I'm logging into the Experience Manager inline editing interface of Tridion Sites here so that I can modify the form. So here we see the different fields. We can actually change the labels directly here inline. And that's also one nice aspect of the Salesforce connector that we provide. But if we look at all the fields of this particular form component, we can then modify the fields and the logic that goes with these fields. Just to give you an example here, and we create a mapping between the CMS field and the Salesforce fields. So we have an ECL connector to directly list the available fields from the Salesforce repository. So we're creating contacts in this case. You can create leads, etc. We're going to find phone. So now we have a direct relationship between Tridion Sites form field and Salesforce. So that means when the data is going to be saved, it's going to be sent to the phone field in the Salesforce contact. So now that we've seen how to create a form, which then allowed us to collect the data about visitors, we can look at the targeting rules and how that works. Well, for starters, we have a tracking widget on our detail pages. So if we go back to the residential solar panels page, we can see the tracking categories residential here. And so if we look at the properties of these tracking widgets and the fields, we can see it is linked to a taxonomy keyword residential. So that's how we classify the page. You could also have this classification on the page level. It's a way to store this information in the ambient data framework or pass that information through the web application to the Salesforce tracking mechanism. So we're effectively giving the information to Salesforce to classify audiences based on different interests or categories of content they've been viewing or spending the most of their time on. So coming back to the way we manage targeting rules in Tridion Sites, we can do it either from Experience Manager or from a business user-friendly dashboard. We can open this page region's properties, which will tell us that currently we have a targeting rule specifically for a Salesforce CRM segment being triggered right now. We can open the definition of that targeting rule, or we could add additional promotions or even A/B testing experiments for that particular website section. However, we can also open the targeting dashboard to have a more holistic view of all the targeting rules which are currently set up in the system. This gives us a nice overview of all the rules. We define where, when to show content, and what content to show. So if a visitor is part of that Salesforce segment, we're going to show particular content, a dedicated residential solar panels banner in our case. So as you can see, we created a very specific targeting rule here, but you can also create more generic rules where the content is always triggered and then filtered out. So if you have a large content set and you tag your content properly with taxonomy, then the content can be filtered out to only show the relevant content based on the current audience visiting the site. So I hope that you can appreciate how the Salesforce connector for Tridion Sites can help you create more dynamic, segmented journeys to create a faster path to conversions for your customers.